Hey guys, it's me, Candy. Welcome back to another week of large family dinners. On Sunday night, I made these loaded scallop potatoes as a quick and easy side. My husband put some frozen brisket from a few weeks back in the slow cooker, and I just made these potatoes and ranch beans and corn, and I also smoked a whole chicken, and everybody just kind of picked what they wanted. So, anyways, that's it for dinner. And as for the chicken, I just put paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and a little bit of Cajun seasoning on it. For dinner on Monday night, I tenderized some pork chops and then I breaded them in a flour mixture with salt, pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, and some the roasted garlic seasoning from Aldi. And yes, I did do granulated garlic and the roasted garlic. I like garlic. And to go with that, I made mashed potatoes and gravy and corn. This was my husband's request. I wanted to smoke the pork chops, but he was home and that's what he wanted. For dinner on Tuesday night, I did this beef roast in my slow cooker with a cream of mushroom, a packet of gravy, and some spices. And then I did these roasted potatoes. I actually burned these. I forgot I had them in the oven. I laid down for a minute because my back's been hurting. Fell asleep for like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I don't know. But I forgot they were in there and I should have took them out. So yeah, they were burnt. So I had to come up with a new side for dinner and kind of figure out how I was going to do things. So it's a shame because these would have been really good, but I guess I'm better off next time. Okay, so I checked on my roast after it had completed cooking, and I decided it needed another 20 minutes or so because it wasn't like fall apart tender and I wanted it really tender. It also made a lot of liquid, so yeah, after cooking it for 20 more minutes, I decided I would go ahead and shred it up and kind of make it like a roast and gravy type of thing. My kidney was really hurting and I laid down for a minute and forgot about my potatoes. So I have some sweet potatoes chopped and I put some olive oil in them. I'm gonna salt them and just throw together dinner, and we'll have sweet potatoes with our roast. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now because I don't feel good. My kids like sweet potatoes. They don't like burnt potatoes. It's life. So what I did was put some olive oil with these sweet potatoes and just a little bit of salt and mix them up and just pour them on a baking sheet and throw them in the oven until they were soft. Here is my gravy after I pulled out the roast, and I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch and water to this and thicken it up. And then I'm going to shred the roast, throw it back in, and I've decided to just make a rice-a-roni rice, and we can eat this over the rice and sweet potatoes on the side. It's not what I had planned, but it will work because this day has not gone according to anything I wanted to do all day long. So I'm just going to get the roast all mixed in and I'm going to put it on keep warm while I make the rice up. So here's what it looks like plated. I mean, it was good. It was dinner. It wasn't what I planned, but it's still dinner on the table. So moving on to Wednesday night, my husband made dinner. He made chili cheese nachos. This is my plate with jalapenos and salsa on it, and everybody just kind of picked their toppings. For dinner on Thursday night, I made chicken enchiladas. I cooked 4 leg quarters in my Instant Pot, deboned and shredded them. I put some cheese in my bowl with some of the Aldi brand Rotel. And then I added paprika, chili powder, oregano, cumin, garlic powder, and onion powder, and mixed it all up really good, and then I rolled it in my tortillas. Here is what it looks like all mixed up and ready to roll up in the tortillas. I use corn tortillas to make my enchiladas. I do not do flour. So to make them, I use a can of red enchilada sauce and I put it in the bottom of the pan. and then I roll my filling into the corn tortillas, put them in rows, and then I top it with another can of sauce and cheese and olives. And I do the same for my green enchiladas, and then I just get them in the oven because some of us like red, some like green, and I just make both. Super simple, and let them cook for about 15-20 minutes until everything's all cooked together and gooey, and then I serve it up, and everybody can have salsa, sour cream, jalapenos, whatever they want on top of their enchiladas. The great thing about chicken enchiladas is that you can use extremely cheap meat and they stretch really far. So like if I buy a $5 bag of like the 10-pound bags of leg quarters, I only use maybe a third of the bag to make 2 big pans of enchiladas. And really, if I add like some green chilies and a little bit more cheese, I could get 3 to 4 pans. So it works out really well for us as a large family to do enchiladas every so often. So here is my pan of red enchiladas. Now I'm going to add the red sauce to the top of them, like I'd mentioned before. And I like to use 2 cans on top because it completely covers the tortillas so you don't get any dried out tortillas. Now I'm going to put a couple handfuls of shredded cheese on top, and it's just Aldi's Mexican cheese with like 4 types of cheese in it. Honestly, I use Munster or cheddar or Colby Jack or whatever we have on hand. And then I'm going to use half the can of olives on top of the red and the other half on top of the green. So this is kind of funny, but the kids were saying, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. So I was rolling them out, putting them in the pan, and I had like a whole row of enchiladas ready, and I realized I didn't put the green sauce on the bottom. So I took them all out, put the green sauce on the bottom, and then started putting them back and re-rolling them. I ran out of both the corn tortillas and the chicken filling, so I didn't want to do a partial pan. So I took out a couple of flour tortillas and I filled those with just some cheese because I figured if Maddie didn't like the chicken, if she thought it was too spicy, she would eat the cheese ones. And so I made up 4 cheese ones before covering it all up with the green sauce. And again, I did 2 cans of the green sauce. Now I'm adding the cheese and then the rest of the olives. And then I'm going to get these in the oven at about 350 and let them cook, like I said, 15-20 minutes until they're all gooey and melty. And for a side, I did 1 can of plain refried beans, 1 can of jalapeno refried beans. I did chili powder, onion powder, and paprika, and just kind of let those cook. And here you go. They are ready. Sour cream, salsa, cilantro, and green onions on the side. For dinner on Friday night, I just did a pork roast in my slow cooker because it was just something super easy. I actually had 3 extra kids over this day, so I wanted to get it cooking before they got over to the house. So it was one less thing I had to worry about with 8 kids under 12 in the house that day. So in with my pork loin, I am putting in a whole pound of carrots, and then I did a half a pound of baby bella mushrooms and a half a pound of the white button mushrooms. I sliced them up and I just put them in there on top of the mushrooms. I don't know about y'all, but my Aldi like a year ago had mushrooms for 69 cents. Now they're $1.99. I used to go in there and buy like 20 packages at a time. I'm really bummed out that they went up so far. Anyways, on top of my roast, I'm adding onion powder, some rub sage if I can get it open. I love sage with pork. That's just my preference. So putting that on there, and then some more of this roasted garlic and herb seasoning that I love so much from Aldi. Just giving it a few shakes, trying to make sure that there's enough that the carrots and the mushrooms get plenty of the seasoning. Now I'm going to do some cracked black pepper over the top of this. I got this one at Sam's Club. I usually buy it at Aldi, but this one was really big. It was only like $4, so it's going to last us quite a while. I love that thing, and you can adjust the size of the peppercorns that you grind. Okay, so I'm going to get this cooking. I'm just going to cook it on low all day, and later I'm going to make this Hawaiian stuffing with sage and onion. It was less than $1 at Aldi, and so I thought we would give it a try. Okay, now I'm getting this made up. You just boil the water and the butter together, and then Miss Mika's helping. She's just going to pour the stuffing in there. We're going to give it a stir, put a lid on it, and let it sit for 5 minutes, and then fluff it up, and that'll be it. Dinner will be ready. I'm also going to pull out some leftover salad that we had for lunch the other day, just for an extra veggie on the side. So this is Mr. James's plate. He wasn't sure if he really wanted very much, so I just gave him very little. He actually came back and got 4 more plates and said he loved that stuffing. So I may have to go back and see if I can catch it before they don't have it, since it's probably seasonal, because it was really good. So for dinner on Saturday night, I took out 3 pounds of ground beef. I used this amazing burger seasoning I had picked up at Aldi during my last grocery trip. It's really good. It smells really smoky. And I chopped up 1/2 pound of the baby Bella mushrooms, put those in there, and we are going to use this burger press that my sister-in-law gave us that I have forgotten about for like 6 months that we even have. So everything is all cooked up, and this is Miss Maddie's plate, and I'm just getting it made up to feed her because it's late and she needs to get to bed. And I just gave her a couple of fried mushrooms and french fries on the side, and she won't have to ask strangers for a hamburger anymore when we go through drive-thrus at the electric company, like she did last week when I went to pay my electric bill. This is Miss Penny acting goofy, but she was so excited because for some reason, I don't know why, I have not made burgers in a while. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment below so that we can chat. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.